Hi, I'm Kat Abercrombie. I'm a penetration tester for Arcanum Information Security. I've been working in pen testing for over 7 years now. And yeah, that's me.
Hi, Kat. Lovely to meet you. I guess lots of interesting tasks with penetration testing. Our viewers would like to probably know, what is a typical day like in your life as a pen tester?
A typical day. Honestly, there is no such thing as a typical day, really. It varies from job to job. For the most part, if I'm doing something fairly standard, like a web application test or a standard infrastructure test, it starts with me just doing a 5-minute check of my emails to make sure everything's in line, everything's ready to go. I do a quick sort of check of all of my prerequisites for testing. So if I'm doing a web app, I might check that I can connect to the website, that the credentials I've got are correct, that all my tooling's in order, and that I've got my authorization to test, because otherwise the Computer Misuse Act has a couple of things to say about that. And then I tend to just crack on with things. I'll let whoever I'm working for know that I'm starting, and then I'll just work through one of our standard methodologies, making note of anything interesting, looking for flaws, documenting flaws and verifying that they are in fact there and it's not a false positive, and keeping my client updated as I go.
Brilliant. That sounds good. Exciting. Lots of interesting things packed in. Is there a particular thing or something that you really love, the best part of the job that you do?
So the best part, I think, is the variety. Although a lot of web applications, for example, tend to be fairly similar, there's always something new and you can never tell quite what you're going to find or what you're going to be hit with. And then especially when you start moving away from that. So I specialize in operational technology and more bespoke systems, and no two systems are ever the same. So it's constantly changing, and it's a constant learning curve, getting to grips with something new. And I just love the challenges. Every day is something else.
I like the way you said it's a constant learning, right? It never stops. You continuously, keep learning. There's always something new,
yep.
And something interesting to be passionate about.
Absolutely.
Great. So, how did you get into the security industry? Is it through degree or? Yeah, interested to know.
I kind of fell sideways into it. I started off studying medicine, of all things. I remember at school, I wanted to be an astronaut, and then I wanted to be a vet, and then I wanted to work for NASA, and then I decided I wanted to actually be a doctor. So I ended up going for med school and really enjoyed it, but found the dealing with patients quite hard. And while I was doing that, I kind of had a summer job working with my dad's company. And I just do little bits of vulnerability research, just help him out with things, and kind of went, this is interesting. I've always got along with computers. So when I decided that actually medicine wasn't the right path for me, I started looking around and found a master's at Royal Holloway in computer security. So I went for that, somehow managed to get a space. I genuinely don't know how. Started working for Arcanum. And from there, I kind of just hopped. I did a lot of the assurance and governance type work, so risk assessments and RMADs as they were. And then from there, I managed to find a team that would let me work with them in a different company doing pen testing. And then I finally moved on to a full pen testing role. And now here I am. So sideways, but there is no single route into it, which is great. We have people from all sorts of different backgrounds. If it's something you're interested in, you can find a way in.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That is very true. And what an interesting way. Your career, it actually speaks for itself. Although you came from medical background, doing your masters and then trying to get into doing penetration testing, vulnerability testing, it clearly says that you don't need to have your basic degree in security, right? You can always get into security irrespective of a degree or not.
Exactly.
So I'm sure there is your personal strength or your superpower somewhere. Would you like to share your superpower with the audience?
I think mine is probably creativity. I tend to very much think outside the box, which is very helpful with pen testing. There is a certain degree of methodology and structure to it, but also coming at something from a completely different angle, especially when you have jobs like social engineering, where instead of being a computer system, you've got to work out how to trick somebody into letting you into a building. And I will quite happily go full method actor and imagine I'm a postman, which has worked for me at least once. Just turn up, hi, can I use your loo while I drop this parcel off? Thank you. I got lost in a building for an entire 20 minutes while they tried to find me.
That is very interesting. Excellent. Well, thank you so much for sharing all the insights, Kat. Is there anything else that you want to share or leave the audience with before we wrap this interview?
I guess just if it's something that interests you, then go ahead and do it. As I said, I came in from medicine. It doesn't matter if it's cybersecurity or something else. If there's something that you enjoy, if there's something you have a passion for, there is a way to find your way into it. So if you don't try, you'll never know.
Absolutely. What a message. Thank you so much for sharing all the insights with us, Kat, and lovely speaking to you.
Thank you, and yourself.